Have you ever wondered what really happened between Jake Weber, Tara Yummy, and Kouvr Annon? What went down behind the scenes? Let's break it down, once and for all. Jake and Tara begins. It all started with a storm on the internet. Jake Weber and Tara Yummy's relationship.
There was one specifically where they were, and we was like, okay, fire me then.
Did you say that?
We were basically like, first of all, they were trying to have one-on-one conversations with us, and unfortunately, I was the person who was called in first for that. There was a standoff happening because they had done this stupid contract that I was refusing to sign, that they had tricked, I feel like, tricked the entire company into signing because they put it into office moving paperwork. Like, we were moving offices, and it's like, oh, you got to sign a new thing for the parking.
Gosh.
You got to sign a new thing. You have to sign a new thing. Oh, and also we have a new image release waiver because we're in a new place. And
the image release waiver, I want to say for the record, none of the people involved in this story work there anymore. But the image release waiver was broad reaching. It basically was like, we own your likeness in any way we want to do it. It
specifically said
forever.
we would own your life story.
Yes.
And that was my issue with it. And luckily for me, because I probably also would have blindly signed it, but they ran out of the image release waiver because I was working too late that day because we were always working very hard. So like I was working late and they didn't have any more. And then, so I didn't sign anything. And then I showed up, and then a week into being at the new office, they realized I hadn't signed the new image release waiver. So some poor intern gets sent to me and they say, hey, can you sign this? And I was like, well, I got to read it. And they're like, well, you need to sign it. I was like, this is an unfortunate, very unfortunate. This is an intern.
An intern delivered this paperwork.
And I read it and I'm like, I'm not going to sign this.
Keith said that he later sent an email to the entire office warning people not to sign this paperwork, but that this left him in some hot water with the company.
Did you sign it?
No, none of us did because we read it because we're not
Because we were all working late. And
I see. Okay.
And then I sent an email to the staff saying, did any of you guys sign this thing? It's crazy. I just sent an email to the whole office to be like, don't sign this. They were obviously pissed at me. And then they were like, well, if you don't sign that, you can't be in videos. And I was like, well, if I can't be in videos, I'm a development partner. I can't make videos.
The Try Guys ended up getting a lawyer over this paperwork the company wanted signed, which led to them allegedly getting warned that a storm would be coming.
We had a meeting with somebody. I'm not going to say their position, but they brought us into a room and they were like, hey guys, so I heard that you are getting a lawyer to look over this. We're like, yeah, and that's what we were told to do. He's like, cool, I think that's a good idea. And then he goes, looks kind of left, right, and he goes, off the record, if you do this, a storm is coming. He literally said, a storm is coming.
And we were like,
insane. We were like, what
do you mean by that? And he's like, can't say anything more. I'm like,
Storms
so we were sort of like penalized for about 6 to 8 months, I think, before they fully got over it.
we were in this kind of really like not good relationship with them.
They also talked about how people would get fired if they worked on anything outside of the company. And even though at one point they told people to be honest about anything they did outside of work and that they wouldn't be penalized, they still were let go.
Other things like there were a couple people who got laid off because they were like in the background of a music video and they should not have been fired for this.
Yeah, there were people who did a web series on a weekend and were let go for that.
And then there was somebody
like, what the fuck,
so
man?
that happened. And then they sent an email like, hey guys, if anyone else is working on anything else, why don't you come and tell us you're doing that? You're not going to get penalized for this, but we want to know because you shouldn't be working on other stuff outside your contract. But they literally said, you will not get in trouble. Just please, if you report to us honestly, we will not get you in trouble. Somebody reported honestly that they were doing freelance research for another company. They were fired.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, very cutthroat, scary times. And that was what was sort of, I think, was the reason that other people started making wireless BuzzFeed is one, they wanted to get
that's why we're telling the story.
The juicy tea, but also that they were mad.
Fans noticed Jake wasn't acting like himself, and Tyra? Well, she had her own story. Rumors swirled, cheating, jealousy, and betrayal. But nothing was confirmed until things started getting public. Scene 2, enter Kouvr Annon. Then came Kouvr, the girl who was always sweet, loyal, and supportive. She stepped into the picture when things got ugly. People started noticing Jake and Kouvr spending more time together. Was it friendship or something more? Fans were divided. Scene 3. Meanwhile, Tara wasn't silent. She began posting cryptic messages. Some of them sounded like they were directed at Jake, and maybe even Kouvr. The tension was thick. Jake finally posted a video addressing the rumors. He didn't name names. But we knew. Scene 4, the truth. Here's what we know. Jake and Tara are no longer together. Kouvr and Jake seem closer than ever. And Tara, she's focusing on herself.
So there was about 2 to 3 weeks where we did not sign the talent release before we got them to agree to some changes, whatever. Yeah. And during that 2 to 3 weeks, it's like, okay, well, I can't do my job.
Right.
So what am I going to do?
What did you do?
And so during that 2 to 3 weeks, Keith and I came up with, I think he pitched to me, drunk girls get surprised with puppies.
Yeah.
I made that video.
But I said, I won't make it because I'm not making anything for the company right now. Because I was like, they're mad at me, like, fire me.
Yeah.
I'm making nothing. I'm going to show up at 9 a.m. I'm going to sit at my desk, and I'm going to leave at 5 or 6.
Oh my gosh.
I made
you did that for a few weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, for about 2-3 weeks. I made this one video because I was like, I'm bored. I want to do something.
Yeah.
And that turned into a fucking smash hit. And now fast forward.
You're like,
That is the celebrities play with puppies interview format that BuzzFeed
What?
makes. Yes.
So that was like, that directly led to the celeb team being like, oh, we would like to do that. Can we? I'm like, go nuts. And so that is now their like one
their
of their
flagship thing.
Feeling, and maybe even hinting at her side of this love, betrayal, friendship, and the internet watching it all unfold. This isn't just drama, it's real people, real emotions. So what do you think really happened? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns on the wildest stories from your favorite creators.